Joe Rogan becomes the latest celebrity to blast Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
You've been following the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing?
Bro, Blake Lively, talk about ruining your reputation, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they f***ed up. Ryan's trying to get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit, and they're like, you were a key part of this.
This is what you get, though.
Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
So what was it like working with Blake Lively on the set of It Ends With Us? Justin Baldoni dropped a number of text messages with crew members detailing just how difficult Blake Lively was to work.
Ryan Reynolds, celebrated for his sharp wit and charismatic persona, is reportedly reeling after Joe Rogan made startling claims about his wife, Blake Lively. According to Rogan, Lively has allegedly been acting with a hidden agenda, one that could potentially damage Reynolds' reputation and career. The bombshell allegations have rippled through Hollywood, leaving fans in shock and sparking intense speculation. As whispers swirl around the couple's seemingly picture-perfect marriage, many are now eager to uncover the truth behind Rogan's bold accusations and to see how Reynolds is coping with the sudden and unexpected controversy.
Ruin a guy's livelihood by using the Me Too movement?
Because they were trying to take over the movie.
Yeah.
They were trying to take over the movie and the whole franchise. He owned the franchise.
They're
the whole
man.
thing's crazy.
They're
and he's suing the New York Times, and he's got a great case
He's
there,
going hard
too.
in the paint. But
He
that's
should.
what it takes.
That's what it takes.
It's like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
He did it for the boys.
Exactly. You got to do it.
You need real motherfuckers to be like, nah, man, I ain't going out like this.
Yeah, especially a guy like that who's like known as being like this really sweet, nice guy.
Yep.
And then he's like, all right,
Dude,
enough.
he posted the receipts.
Oh,
He's like,
the
oh,
receipts are
remember our
crazy.
text exchange? Bah, bah,
How about she
bah,
told
bah.
him to to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding,
With a fun
and then
ass.
part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth. They just never thought that anybody was going to come out with the receipts.
Because no one's ever done it, because everyone usually just bows
Because everyone's
down.
scared.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds A-list, Blake Lively A-list. Like, they're the queen of the king.
Joe Rogan, along with Brendan Schaub, recently criticized Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, claiming the couple made a serious misstep by getting entangled in a legal dispute with actor and filmmaker Justin Baldoni. According to their account, Lively allegedly attempted to take control of a movie franchise that originally belonged to Baldoni and was based on a popular book series. Rogan and Schaub suggested that Lively and Reynolds leveraged the hashtag #MeToo movement as a strategy to sideline Baldoni and gain control of the project. The allegations have stirred significant controversy, raising questions about the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the high-profile conflict.
Joe's spot on. Brandon and Joe are spot on, and it's just encouraging to see more big personalities, outlets, celebrities just talking about it realistically and not the way Blake and Hollywood is trying to spin it, which a lot in Hollywood are. Now, clearly Joe's not afraid. He says what he wants. He always has. But still, it's still a massive, big platform, and to see him out there talking about it honestly and actually sharing the proper facts can't help Blake and Ryan. They must not like seeing such big personalities and people with so much sway, but being out there calling it out for what it is, because let's be honest, Hollywood doesn't like that. They don't like us being honest. They don't like us telling you the truth. They try to to massage everything into their narrative.
The legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is intensifying, with their lawsuits against each other scheduled to go to trial on March 9, 2026. As the case escalates, major figures including Ryan Reynolds, The New York Times, and publicist Leslie Sloan are seeking to distance themselves from Baldoni's sprawling $400 million defamation and extortion lawsuit. U.S. District Judge Louis J. Limon recently characterized the dispute as a clash between powerful PR machines, highlighting the media-fueled nature of the high-stakes feud.
Now, Baldoni's lawsuit is 179 pages, so in case you don't have time to read through it all, I want to read you a direct quote from the complaint that essentially summarizes everything that Baldoni is alleging. He says, "Lively wields immense power as one of the world's best-known celebrities. She set out to destroy plaintiffs' livelihoods and businesses if they did not bend to her incessant demands, and when they refused to give way, she did exactly that, accusing them of foul and reprehensible sexual misconduct." Now, I reached out to Baldoni's attorney, who tells me that they have copious amounts of text messages and emails and other evidence that they say proves that Baldoni did nothing wrong. I reached out to a representative for Blake and Ryan. They have not responded yet.
So Blake Lively files to dismiss $400 million lawsuit, calling it an abuse of the legal system. But what does this mean exactly? Let's break it down. So this actually isn't headline news. Just this week, Ryan Reynolds also filed to dismiss the lawsuit, but what does it mean? So this is specifically referring to Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against them. They want the judge to dismiss Baldoni's lawsuit against them, like saying, hey judge, we don't deserve to be sued. Can you please just get him away from us? Her publicist Leslie Sloan and the New York Times have also filed motions to dismiss, but why is this so important right now? Because the judge just settled the protective order dispute, which means the next phase is to move into discovery, which means digging up the text messages, digging up the emails, deposing people, Taylor Swift. And along with a motion to dismiss, we have Leslie Sloan and the New York Times, and presumably next will be Blake and Ryan, are filing a motion to stay discovery, meaning they don't want to move into discovery just yet until the judge decides on all of their motions to dismiss. Long story short, it's a delay tactic. It seems like they don't want to move into discovery, probably because discovery is going to get very messy. Again, the text messages, the emails, we're going to get into all the records, we're going to get into the depositions. Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman, Bradley Cooper. You know for a fact, Brian Friedman is coming for all of them in the depositions. Now, why might Khaleesi and her dragons want to delay the discovery process? One theory is that we have another simple favor. The official premiere is coming out soon, so we may not want to taint that any further, right? Oh, but there's a bigger reason we may want to delay this process. This very, very messy process. Bigger than another simple favor, Ryan Reynolds' company is about to go public. Sounds like a very lucrative deal. Now, we wouldn't want to hurt any chances of a really big sale by having messy details about this messy lawsuit come out. Might also be why Ryan Reynolds came out so hard, doubling down on calling Justin Baldoni a predator in his motion to dismiss this week. I don't know, just a theory, but the timing's a little convenient. Am I right? Of all of them, I would say the New York Times has the strongest chance of getting their motion to dismiss granted because there are special privileges that the press does have, and we're learning how they, in my opinion, abuse those privileges, but they have the strongest case in a motion to dismiss, in my opinion, but we'll see. I doubt Blake or Leslie Sloan or Ryan Reynolds will get dismissed. The New York Times might, but I'm predicting Brian Friedman's going to come back swinging pretty hard to keep.
Joe Rogan has further inflamed the situation by mocking Ryan Reynolds for his March 18th motion to dismiss the case, insinuating that Reynolds and Blake Lively may have had hidden motives in their involvement with it. Ends with us. Rogan speculated that the Hollywood couple's true aim was to take control of the entire movie franchise. However, aside from Justin Baldoni's own sarcastic comments, no concrete evidence has surfaced to support these claims.
Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's attorney, has just shot back at Blake Lively's motion to dismiss. Blake is abusing the legal system. 3 exclamation points. Brian Friedman tells TMZ Ms. Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal system. Friedman says stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves, while noting laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda.
Court of public opinion has already spoken. Everyone's upset at Blake Lively. They're upset at Ryan Reynolds. She's a unique defendant in this case where she's going to be able to use this brand new shiny law. There's not a whole lot of cases that have been decided on it, but it looks very broad. And the way that it's been given, I mean, I have to think that Justin Baldoni's team is looking at this. Of course, they're going to come out publicly and say this is a bunch of nonsense. You know, this is not a big deal. But if I was the lawyer representing Justin Baldoni on this would be a punch to my gut today. I would be going, uh-oh, what are we going to do with this?
It's a legal judo move for sure on the part of Lively and Baldoni and Friedman and their team. They got to take it very seriously. And I'm sure that they're going to have arguments and they're going to mount, good.
The Howie Mandel Does Stuff podcast, hosted by comedian Howie Mandel and his daughter Jacqueline Schultz, recently aired a segment titled Dr. Phil Weighs In on Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively. In the episode, comedian Adam Ray delivers a Dr. Phil impersonation to humorously dissect the escalating legal feud between actors Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. The satirical sketch offers a lighthearted take on an otherwise serious controversy, adding comedic relief to the hype dispute.
Whose side are you on?
Well, Baldoni looks like, what's the word? He's got like a, You remember going to school with that kid that always raised his hand real quick in school for extra credit?
Yeah.
But then he also hit on the recess teacher, remember? And she was 35 and he was 12.
Right.
But she still was like, well, my husband's going to be gone next week, so maybe come over and make a play kickball. But
Oh, now I remember. Yes, I do remember.
Baldoni was the hot kid that could fuck a teacher. So he's got that in his head on a movie set, which is, as Gizmo said, yeah.
Blake Lively's complaint details several allegations of misconduct against Justin Baldoni during the production of it, ends with us accusing him of creating a hostile work environment. According to the filing, Baldoni allegedly displayed inappropriate content on set, openly discussed personal and intimate experiences, and made unsolicited comments about Lively's body and weight. The complaint further claims that after she raised concerns about his behavior, Baldoni and his production company Wayfarer Studios retaliated by launching a smear campaign aimed at damaging her reputation.
Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment was not on my 2024 bingo card, but here we are. In Blake's lawsuit, she is alleging there was a meeting that included her husband, Ryan, where she demanded no more showing of nude photos or images of women to Blake, no more mention of Baldoni's alleged previous porno addiction, no more discussions about sexual conquest in front of Blake and others, no further mentions of cast and crew's genitalia, no more inquiries about Blake's weight, and no more further mention about her father who passed away. It goes on to say no more adding of sex scenes and oral sex or on-camera climaxing outside of the scope of the script that she approved. Justin's lawyer basically said this was Blake's attempt to fix her negative reputation. As we know, this last year, she went from being a Hollywood sweetheart to basically being disliked by the fans.
Meanwhile, Hassan Minhaj, who portrayed Marshall in it, ends with us, addressed rumors of on-set tension during an interview with Esquire. I can't speak to other people's experiences, but everyone was very professional and kind to me. He said it was a great experience, everyone was wonderful. Minhaj expressed surprise upon hearing about the alleged conflicts, noting that he was unaware of any such issues during his time on set.
The only It Ends With Us cast member that still follows Justin Baldoni has made a comment about all of the backlash the movie received, and some of the drama between Justin and Blake. Hassan, who plays the husband of Jenny Slate's character, said that he can't speak to anyone else's experience, but he said that his experience was that everyone was professional and easy to work with. He said it was lovely and everybody was lovely, and afterwards he just ended up feeling a bit disillusioned and confused about everything that was happening in the news. He said it was a very strange, bizarre year, and that as a comic he was definitely laughing at a lot of moments, which we can totally understand. This already adds to the weirdness that was going on within the cast with Jenny Slate just ignoring questions about Justin. Then Brandon Sklenar's comment about Blake and defending her. I feel like Hassan is giving us an inside look at what it was really like. He even said everybody was professional on set, basically denying that Justin was ever unprofessional. But I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments.
The legal turmoil surrounding the film It Ends With Us has escalated further, as crisis publicist Jed Wallace has filed a $7 million defamation lawsuit against actress Blake Lively. Wallace, who owns the Texas-based PR firm Street Relations, claims that Lively falsely accused him of orchestrating a digital smear campaign targeting her. He alleges that these accusations severely damaged both his professional reputation and his business.
I promise you, I've been trying to think of other things to talk about, but another day, another filing. And this actually has to do with one of the most interesting aspects of this entire case. Blake Lively is now being sued by Jed Wallace of Street Relations Inc. He has said that she has cost him millions of dollars in reputational harm and is suing her for defamation. Lively's counsel released a statement saying that this is just someone else that's trying to sue her into oblivion for speaking out, and that they are confident that this will get dismissed, which I find that to be really interesting because this is someone that they alleged in her original complaint was really responsible or had a part in allegedly the whole astroturfing, because they alleged that Wallace was responsible for planting negative comments and negative stories.
This lawsuit adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing conflict between Blake Lively and her co-star and director, Justin Baldoni. Lively's legal team has dismissed Jed Wallace's defamation claims as retaliatory, arguing that the lawsuit is a direct response to her earlier complaint accusing Baldoni of misconduct and retaliation. They assert that Wallace's case is without merit and express confidence that it will ultimately be dismissed.
Wallace has maintained that he had no part in any negative PR tactics against Lively. Which it was interesting that her defense basically was like, oh, this is nothing, it'll get dismissed, yada, 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 because in her filings, they said that Wallace was the one who weaponized a digital army. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but basically that it was either real accounts or possibly bot farms. I don't really know. I probably need to read that again. But basically that was orchestrated by Wallace and, other members of Baldoni's team. Which, like, if I was naming someone who, like, had taken part in this, like, alleged astroturfing, I'd be like, yeah, see you in court. Can't wait to find out your method. I don't know. Maybe that's probably not the most professional response, which is also probably why I'm not a lawyer and I'm here on TikTok.
Blake Lively's legal filings cite an incident in which she alleges a man entered her room without permission while she was breastfeeding. However, conflicting reports suggest that Lively may have actually given prior consent for the individual to enter. This discrepancy raises questions about the accuracy of the allegation and highlights the potential for misunderstandings in high-pressure, emotionally charged environments.
Imagine for a second, you invite a man to your trailer, you're breastfeeding. You say, you can come in, but you got to turn around. So he, knock, knock, I'm here. Come on in. Turn around. He locks eyes with you. And the second it takes for him to turn around. And you add that to the lawsuit. Blake Lively. Gossip girl. You must be stopped. That man was standing and staring at the wall. Singing show tunes to himself for all we know. Counting stars. Counting specks of dust and paint. And you said that was sexual harassment. At this point, you gotta blame it on Ryan Reynolds. Say he wanted the idea for a movie. Say that he thought that it was gonna be a funny ha 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 moment. You know how he jokes. Say we all know how he jokes because it's not working. You doomed us.
However, multiple reports allege that Blake Lively's behavior on the set of A Simple Favor contributed to a toxic work environment. Assistant Director Barbara Seaman claimed she was compelled to resign due to the emotional distress caused by Lively's conduct. As these accusations surface alongside ongoing legal battles, they cast a spotlight on Lively's professional ethics and her treatment of colleagues in high-stress production settings.
Lively was the reason an assistant director quit A Simple Favor. Allegedly, of course. And we learned this from Henry Golding's post. Henry Golding, who was in A Simple Favor, made a post with the poster for another Simple Favor, and under his post, Barbed Wire TV had commented, "I worked with you on the first one. My experience with everyone was absolutely amazing except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who that person is. Wish you all the best with this though." And Barbed Wire TV went on to say, "I want to avoid attention around this, but I will say she was cruel to many. I know I cried my way home many nights because you try so hard to please someone who is never pleased and puts you down constantly. I can't believe it's actually getting back at her. Karma is real." And Barbed Wire TV, whose real name is Barbara Jaworski, definitely seems to work in like the production world. And for further proof, here's her IMDb. Seems to be under her maiden name. Says she's known for Barbed Wire TV, which obviously that's even her account name. Under projects, you'll see A Simple Favor. She was the 4th assistant director. So not only did we learn that she quit, but apparently she made many people cry behind the scenes. Alleged.
Justin Baldoni's lead attorney, Brian Friedman, claims his client's career has been severely damaged by the ongoing legal battle with Blake Lively. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan continues to publicly support Baldoni, pointing to the director's release of alleged receipts including text messages and emails, which he argues reveal a calculated effort to undermine Baldoni's reputation. Friedman's legal team even launched a website featuring a comprehensive 168-page timeline of events, though a judge later questioned whether this move may have violated federal court protocols. Despite the legal complexities, Rogan remains confident in Baldoni's position, stating, "Everyone is scared." Ryan Reynolds, A-list, Blake Lively.
To TMZ, Friedman reiterated, "As we said yesterday in response to Mr. Reynolds' same cowardly measures, we will continue to hold Ms. Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which include falsely accusing my clients of harassment and retaliation." Friedman summed it up by saying Blake's fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily disproved with actual evidentiary proof.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
If Joe Rogan's claims hold any truth, what could this mean for the future of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Could there be a hidden agenda behind the scenes? Or is this all just media-driven speculation? Share your thoughts in the comments below.